This week we're going to be talking a lot about menopause, all the symptoms. And there are, I think the last time I checked, there was 43 symptoms. I think when I first started studying menopause, there were 39 symptoms. So if you're over the age of 40 and you're struggling with hot flushes is an obvious one, night sweats, and you have difficulty sleeping, if you're one of these people that gets hot and cold during the night and you're struggling with night sweats and you toss and turn, even if you have difficulty sleeping, so difficulty getting to sleep or staying asleep or waking up so early with your heart racing, or you may even experience just chronic tiredness where you feel like you could sleep like the dead but still feel unrefreshed. uh, there's so many symptoms, I think, and from my personal experience, have been mental health issues. So either low mood or anxiety, or just really low self-esteem, where you really feel shaky and lose your confidence. Of course, there can be the obvious symptoms like lack of libido and low sex drive. But what about the memory problems? Like, oh my God, what was I talking about? Like, oh, what's the name for that? Or, oh my God, I can't remember her name. Oh. Or you walk into a room and you can't even remember what you're there for. Look, there are so many different symptoms of menopause, and it's the time before the menopause. That period of the perimenopause, which can last up to 10 years, and the menopause can last 2 or 3 years and beyond. So this week I'm going to do a series of videos about the perimenopause and the menopause and the link between the gut health, because what I see in clinic and what I see with ladies coming to see me is that they're struggling with anxiety, they're struggling with weight gain, they've definitely got digestive issues. That's mainly the reason they come to see me. They're bloated, or they've got IBS, or they're constipated, and they're putting on weight, but they're also feeling really irrational in their mood. They're not sleeping well, and they're chronically tired, like really, really tired. So I want to talk about how the gut will impact your hormones, and how the liver will impact your hormones. So if you have been spending a lot of your time in the perimenopause working on your liver, working on your self-care, slowing your life down, digesting your food well, chewing your food well, adding in good probiotics, making sure you're getting a good range of prebiotic foods, the good bacteria, the digestible fiber that feeds the good bacteria in the gut, then you may well find that you will sail through the menopause. If you have spent your 30s and your 40s eating all the wrong things, being chronically stressed, having children late in life like me, drinking far too much alcohol, drinking way too much caffeine, having too much cake, having too much refined sugars, not getting enough sleep, then you will probably find that your perimenopause and your menopause years are going to be much more difficult. So this week, instead of doing one whole webinar on the menopause and the perimenopause and the link to the gut health, I will do a little series of videos that will be less than 5 minutes, that will be little snippets on what you can do for those niggly symptoms, and what you could do about major symptoms, and how it's very important to look after your gut health and your liver health, particularly because your liver plays such an important role in the metabolizing of fat, but the production of hormones. And when we stop making estrogen and progesterone in the same way that we have been all about our life since puberty, then what happens is the liver and the adrenals particularly have to come to the party and pick up the slack. So the ovaries are no longer making estrogen and progesterone, but you still have other hormones. You still have insulin, you still have thyroid hormones, you still have cortisol. All of these are very important, that we have this delicate relationship between the thyroid and the cortisol, the stress response, and the insulin, in order to metabolize our fat and maintain a healthy weight. So this week and next, I will do a small little series of videos addressing some of the common complaints, particularly the stress, the sleep, the blood sugar, the weight gain, the irritability, the self-esteem, the anxiety, the hot flushes, the low libido. And I'll give you some of my pointers, and we'll look at some plant-based solutions, we'll look at some natural solutions, and we'll also talk about HRT. And so I'd love to hear your questions. I'd love to know what you would like to know. I'd love to know what you're struggling with, so that can help guide the course of the conversation this week around the menopause. So if you've got questions, pop them in the comments below. I can't tell you exactly what time of day I'm going to be doing it, because each day is quite different this week. Each day I have clients at a different time of the day. So I'm going to aim for each morning around this time, except for on Thursday, which I do have a client right at this time. So I'm going to aim for around about 10:30 each morning, and we will have a little get together, make yourself a little herbal tea or a smoothie or a decaf coffee, and I will aim for just checking in with you around about 10:30 each morning to discuss the symptoms and to discuss some of the solutions that I have tried with great success in my own personal menopause journey, but also what I use with my clients. And I will talk about testing as well, so you can get your hormones tested. You can test for cortisol, you can test for all of your hormones, so you know exactly what your hormones are doing, and that's a very beneficial, worthwhile thing to do, to know exactly where you're at with your hormones. And you can also get comprehensive stool tests done to know what's going on with your gut health. So I'll talk about those as well, but I'll talk about some of my tried and tested remedies for all the menopause symptoms. So if there's a symptom that you're struggling with that I haven't mentioned, then please put it in the chat box and I'll make sure I mention it in the coming videos. All right, have a great day. And if you're watching on replay, also put your questions in the comments box and I'll do my best to answer them over the course of the next week. Have a great day. See you soon.